All right, welcome back to Outmouse Labs. My name is Penny, and I am glad you're here. I'm going to be continuing on with our. Go ahead and show you the title here. Oh, I haven't actually changed it. That's funny. Hunt for Zadrius's tomb. So this is our Let's Make a Game series. Started it a few days ago. We're going to continue on with it. Today should be a somewhat shorter video. Last time we talked about adding classes and characters and kind of making sure that they all match, and we added our D&D characters, so that is done. I added a couple of basic skills off camera, so I added in the whip attack, which attacks all, and I have it set to different die sizes, so 4, 6, and 8, I believe. I then added some generic die-based attacks, D4, D6, D8, D10, etc. Items, I went ahead, I think all of these were done on camera, so I think you saw all of these. Weapons, I added in some of our actually all of the weapons. So the way we're doing it is that each character has a weapon, and then they can upgrade those weapons. And when they upgrade those weapons, their old one is replaced. The upgraded weapons do more damage, and they also sometimes up the die as well. Next up, I finished up the armors. So this is all of our armors. They work in a more traditional way, although sometimes what they do in terms of the evasion rate or counterattack, these things can be more important than the just defense increase, depending on which one it is. We have light armor, medium armor, heavy armor, magic armor, and then ornaments, which are accessories. And these vary from amulets to rings to boots. So that is all set up here and good to go. I started with the enemies. I'm really happy with these. I'll go ahead and open them up in another program so you can see them a little better. This is Aspirate. It's a program for making pixel art. So these are some of my custom ones that I made. I'm also going to be using from the asset pack. So let me go ahead. Again, this is the 8-bit all-in-one. Let me just grab. There we go. We'll grab their rat here. So this is from the asset pack. I think it looks really, really nice. There's a pretty good selection, but definitely not enough for a whole game. So I started making my own. I call this one the anti-longs legs or tentacled ant. This one is the spiked poisoner. This is the rabbitmon. This is the purple tusked beastie. And this is the boxing bunny. So they're meant to fit in with the existing assets, but also be unique, and it means that I can have anything I would want. Now I stuck to, a low color. In theory it would be 4 color. I think like this one, for instance, is 6 color. So, but we still tried to keep it pretty close to that 8-bit look, 4 color look. So there's those. Okay. All right, next up, we made some troops. So we have our individual monsters. Then we have 2 of each, like different sets. And then we have all 4. So that gives us a nice little basic troops. I don't think I did anything to the states, animations, or tile sets. So that's all the same. I did test out making an event to change the weapon. So we take out whatever weapon they had before, for instance. Then add in the new weapon, then change the equipment to the new weapon, and then give a weapon upgraded. So that works really well. That isn't going to be the permanent event, but it was a test to make sure it worked, and it does. Let's see here. Anything else that we've already done? I think that catches you up. Well, and I added the title while we were here. Let's go ahead and get it to just down to Quill. We'll set that there. And I think from here, I'm just going to do a little bit of mapping. Mapping is an important skill. It's actually my favorite part. So let's go ahead and talk about that for a little bit. So the asset pack I have comes with a whole bunch of pre-generated maps, and some of them are pretty good. But, it's more fun to make your own. But I keep them here as a reference. I always call my first map Sandbox. It's just kind of a debug area. So we'll go here. We're going to make a new map. Our first area is a prison. It's actually the Ivermore prison, so we can call it that. Ivermore prison. And the first room is not terribly large. Let's do 25 by 25. And let's do dungeon and see if that will meet our needs. Okay, so I'm imagining a fairly basic kind of gray, or there we go. That'll work very nicely. And when thinking about a basic room like this, what I want to do is have enough space to, so we'll do something like this. And I mean, essentially it's a box, right? So we'll start by making a box. And I'm actually going to switch over to this. Okay, and right now we're just getting the shape. So there's definitely going to be shifts. Okay. And we're going to have 3 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. For those of you who don't know, MZ has a great layering system that makes making maps a little bit easier and a lot more flexible. So we are going to be taking advantage of that. But right now we have it set to auto because we haven't done anything specific that needs it. Okay, and then we're going to throw in a floor. I think we can find like a, yeah, perfect. Okay, so there's that. And there should be some kind of prison. Perfect. Oops. And actually, that's pretty close to what we want. There we go. And then what we can do is actually make that a what you call it, a vent. So let's do that. So we're going to take this, we're going to call this prison door, and it's going to have an image. That image is going to be based on our tile B. Where are you? There you are. And to start out with, we're going to have it just be same as character. And when you do it, it's going to set movement route, through on, move left, through off. Okay, let's try that. Now, some people like to just make the map and then get the functionality going, and I respect that. But for the stuff that I know I'm going to need, I go ahead and add it now. So we cannot walk through anything. We hit the button. Oh, that was a silly mistake. Everybody makes silly mistakes. This event, which could also be called prison door, but in this case, this event is just fine. Okay, take 2. Now we can go and we can not walk through it. Excellent, prison door. Now obviously we don't want it to just open, but we wanted to check it first. So we'll go ahead and leave it alone for now. All right, so we are going to grab a hold of you. Bing, bing. Grab a hold of you. And actually, I guess these aren't gonna, well, I want them to be sort of like be able to put a message. So we can say something like, the door is stuck. And then maybe we can put a treasure in here. So we'll actually leave this one just as it is. Okay. All right. Going back over. Let's kind of make our cells a little better. They're perhaps a touch more hospitable than that. Not a lot. Broken bed or something similar. Yeah, we do. There we go. I mean, it'd be better if it was like a cot. Let's see. Is there something that will work as a cot? Can we make a cot? Well, I know we can make a cot. Okay, so we're going to have to make it, which is fine. All right, so to make it, we're going to go in here. This again is aspirate. We're going to open that up. Tilesets. We're going to look in the inside and see if there's another one that'll meet our needs, because then we'll just be able to do it that way. So inside B, inside C are extra, and then we know that dungeon C has at least some of what we, like a base. All right, so open all these up. Take a look at inside C first. No, I don't see anything that'll meet our need there. Inside B. No, I don't. Well, that kind of works. That's sort of what we need, but not quite. So we will go ahead and use what we found in terms of the bed here. We are going to turn on a grid settings, 48, 48, view, grid, snap to grid, M to switch to this mode, grab a hold of this, view, grid settings, 48, 48. These are some other edits I've done in the past. We're going to go ahead and remove some of these actually, because we are not going to be making a Halloween game this time. Okay. Now, we basically just don't want the bed portion, so we are going to start by just carving this up essentially. Let's see. Let's do this. B. And we'll do this and this. And maybe this. Okay. And then we're going to E out anything that doesn't get us what we want to be working with. And this will make sense in just a minute, I hope anyway. Okay. Okay. Oop. There we go. And we're going to do this, 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 this. And okay. So now we have our palette, which we're still going to edit it just a bit more, but now it's just kind of on the ground. It's a little bit more like what we want here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And is there a way to make this like a little dirtier? I don't hate it as is. That's fine. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it. Let me go take a look and see if there is, because I would like some straw. So let me see if we can find that real quick. We'll take a dungeon B and then outside B and C. If it's here, it's going to be in one of those. Nope. No. Kind of. No. Oh well, worth a shot. Okay, so we can say save to that because it's just the. Okay, and then finally, since we got rid of those other ones, we're going to put these put this somewhere else. I don't want to block those trees. I want to have it be kind of with the housewares type stuff. And we're actually going to do this. This is just some housekeeping real fast. Just be a moment. Because I'll probably want to change those trees out a little more later. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, so we can now go back into our thing, and this is actually a helpful thing to know. Tile set. We're going to go to our dungeon tile set. We are going to change this to our custom set. We're going to go over here. We're going to make sure we're in the passage section. Anywhere where there is an X, there is not passage. Anywhere there is a star, you'll be behind it. Okay. Well, actually, we can let them. There we go. And so you just want to set this up however you want it to be. And you only have to do this once, thankfully. Yep. All right. Apply. You might also want to change things like the passage for direction sometimes, or in this case, we are going to change the bush for the leaves. All right. And there we go. Hopefully you're not hearing that alarm from the business next door. If you are, I apologize. Okay. Now that that's all done being edited, we can grab this. Well, first we can get rid of that. Then we can grab this. There we go. Doesn't that look more like a dungeon palette? I think it does. All right. Then we are going to put some bones in the corner of this one. And we are going to stick... because we are going to put a treasure chest in here, so we're going to do this, and maybe, what else? Oh my gosh, my apologies, that is awful. Oh, that looks good. I really like that, those bars. Those are really nice, actually. Okay, and we'll put a sconce. And we'll put a... aha! There we go. That guy. And we'll put a pot to piss in here as well. And one here as well. There we go. And we will do... maybe if there's sometimes there's like holes and stuff. Now there's at least some like... damaged wall. I don't like it there. Let's see. There we go. I like that. Okay. Maybe up here. Perfect. Surprised there's not more like holes and things. Let's take one more quick look through here. Ah, here we go. Let's do this. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And we'll have some vine maybe growing up out of there as well. There we go. That's really bright. What about this? There we go. Okay. So that looks real nice. I think that might just about do us. All right, and then we'll have some stuff out here. Let's see, let's do like this. And maybe a table if we can get some. Maybe okay, just some scuffing. There we go. Zoom out. We're gonna, oops. Gonna grab a hold of this because now we have an idea of our what we're looking for in that department. Okay, coming together. All right, then we are going to have a way out, which is going to be a set of stairs. And I was hoping for a table. Is it a clock, bed, bookshelf? No table. Wonder if this could pass for a table. It might. It might. Let's see. Really surprised that there isn't one, to be honest. Alright, let's run over here real fast and just grab one, because this is a little silly. Inside B. Inside B, there you are. I'll grab C just in case. Open. Okay, it should be B. There we go. You're what I need. At the most basic, anyway. Okay. Bing. Bing. Okay, then we go back over to our... So this is really the process of like customizing your assets, and put kind of very simply. I think they should be able to walk into that. And we will now go over to D. I think that passes okay as a table. Let's see if we zoom in quite a bit. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's look at inside B. Do they have? They do have a table. Aha. Much better. Penny. There we go. And this might actually be a good opportunity to do just a little bit of editing. So what we are going to do is we're going to find the middle, grab a hold of it, and then we are... Question is, how do we want to do that? Do we want to do like this? Let's see what it looks like. No, well, it helps if you get the sizing right. How does it look to do that? I'll take it. That looks pretty good. So we'll save it. Go over here. Go in here. Go here. Now we're in business. Looking great. Okay. So we got that. And we're going to like apply anything on top of there. Like, can we get dirt? Nope. No. Let's try if we do it over here. What does that look like? So I'm using the layer system there to no effect at all. That's why. Let's try putting the table on the lowest possible. Go up here, go to A, take a look and see what it looks like. What do we think of that? I think that looks okay. Looks damaged, and it does kind of blend in with the floor, which I'm okay with. Okay, so there is the basics of our dungeon. I'm trying to think if we need anything else. Sometimes they say like don't make things square. I can see the logic there, but I mean, they're cells. You kind of would expect them to be square. We could, just as a for instance, we could do this. I'll just kind of show it how it could look. Oop. We could do this. Okay, and then you would do this. Do we think that looks better? I think it actually does look better. So we'll do that. Okay. And anything else? Anything else? We could do something like this. Okay. this. Okay, I think that that looks like a pretty good opening dungeon, don't you? Let's take a look at what it looks like in the engine. So there we go. We can actually take it up here. We can look around. We can kind of go on the bed. Right now we can just open the door. Go here. The door is stuck. We can open this door and go inside. Doesn't do anything yet, but it's there. We can go behind these objects. Oh, we can currently walk on the table, which we'll fix. But behind there, yeah, I like it a lot. I think that this is perfect. All right, so first a couple of cleanup options. We'll start with that table. Oh, we shouldn't be able to walk on it. Well, that's interesting. Let's try that one more time and see what's up. Why can we walk on you? Huh. Okay. And we're going to check and see. I don't actually even have it on, but we are going to turn on one of our plugins that we can fix this with if nothing else, but I'm hoping we can find out what's actually wrong. This is Cyclone Maps. It allows you to do a lot of things with the maps, but immediately it allows you to set regions to block things regardless of what else is true, which can be extremely useful. Okay, all right, so that's there if nothing else, but let's see if we can figure out why. All right, so we go to dungeon. We go to here. It is passage locked. Passage locked. Nothing would suggest we can pass through it. Okay. And we go here, and we look. Oh, I see. That's the problem. It's because of that making it look dirty, because we can walk on that. So we are going to have to use the plugin. So you could just remove the dirt, but I really want the dirt to be there. So instead, we made one unpassable for players and events. So now it is not passable. I'll just show you the plugin in action. Now we cannot pass through it. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's cleanups number 1 and 2. Next up, we're going to go here. Click on that, hit Control-T. We're going to move it back 1, and it's actually on the Y correct, so we'll hit go, and there we go. And then you're going to come down to here and look at down here. It'll give you the number, so it's 1717. It starts at 0, so that means that we need our map to be 18 by 18. 18 by 18. Yep. All right, and if you want, you can fill it in with black. Obviously, in the engine, it's going to be that way no matter what, but sometimes it's just nice to look at in the editor as well. And now it is perfectly square with the room, in the center of the room, as it should be. There it is. Pretty nice. Not bad for, what, 20 minutes, something like that. Hopefully this was fun to see, get an idea of the process, and we will go from there. Unknown region, so that probably means that we have the CGMC plugin on, so I can actually show you that. Another one that I really like, this is the, let me find it, core conditional credits message, text codes, title system. I thought that's what added that. Maybe it's the MKI, maybe it's this guy. Hold on one second. I'll turn down the volume. I don't want you to get blasted there. Okay, we'll start this up. This is another plugin. This one is really neat. From the menu, you hit F9, and it brings this up. You can kind of see all different things that are turned on. You can turn everything on and off. Menu scene, effects blurred, party actor. Looking for like the gold box. Golden game info. Here we are. For current gold. For map name. Okay, so it is, I can see that that is in fact what we want it to do. Why are we showing it as an unknown region? All right, let's take a look here. I wonder if it puts it in the display name. Let's try that. There you go, Ivermore Prison. Beautiful. Okay, well that looks good. And I think that's a wonderful spot to stop our video for today. Like I said, this was just sort of a shorter one. I'll probably build a few more maps off camera, and if I do something really interesting, I'll be sure to either explain it or go back and record it. All right, thanks for tuning in. We're going to keep building this game together. If you have any ideas that you'd like me to consider for the story, if you have any plugins you'd like me to kind of explain, if you have any plugins you'd like me to try and write and walk you through that coding process, or really anything else, let me know in the comments. Consider a like and subscribe. I'm not as active on this channel as I'd like to be. I do have a full-time job, but when I do have something new, it'd be cool if you saw it. And I will see you next time. Happy game making.